You really think it'll be that bad?
Every game is like that. You gotta think about it. Unless you like a new title and nobody know about you and you in no type of rush to put it out, then it's gonna be like, then that's the only way you could be perfect. But other than that, nowadays people rather do this. Companies learned this. People still gonna buy a broken game, and you have like a month or two to fix everything, all the problems that you have.
I mean, shit, if you got the money for advertising and the right people to do it, I mean, you'll make a killing anyway. Because you get all these little kids and stuff, they'll be like, I want this, it was on TV. I mean, that's how, be like the dumbest game in the world.
I mean, that's how Fortnite and Minecraft got so big. Because you have, they had celebrities playing it, it's all over TV. So then, of course, the people who, like me and you, well, I don't know about you so much, people who really play games and know, like, good games, they're like, oh, we're not going to play that shit game. Then you have people who are just beginner gamers and the people who just go to stores to be like, oh, I want the newest good game. Like, go to the worst place ever to buy games, GameStop. And then you be like, hey, GameStop employee, what's the best game? Oh, you should play Fortnite. Not understanding, like, the best game is really, like, Assassin's Creed or some underground game where a lot of people play it, but then, like, they just want to push the biggest game.
Yeah, I mean, they just want to make the most money. Then, I mean, you got to remember I guess I can't say that. There are a lot of actual gaming people. I mean, well, there used to be anyway. I know whenever I used to actually play video games and really be big into that stuff, every time I would go to the gaming stores, there would usually be, like, you know, nerds. And they would,
completely different now.
They would actually tell me what to buy, and I'd be like, okay, cool.
Nowadays, I went to GameStop more recently because I bought my niece a Switch a couple of years ago. And, like, I went there and literally I asked, because I clearly haven't played a Switch or any type of those games. And she a little kid, so I'm like, let's see what they say. They said the crappy Fortnite. I looked at her and her eyes light up. And I'm like, oh, wow, she played this. Not only that, then, like, they try to sell you all type of crap that you don't want. Like, hey, do you want our magazine? No. Hey, do you want this? No. Do you want to join our club for cheaper games? No. Do you want to do this? No. Do you want insurance for your game? No. Because even when you get insurance for the game, they still going to, when they break, you still got to pay.
And they're going to ask you for your fucking receipt.
No, they still make you pay.
And they're going to ask you for your fucking receipt. And let's face it, I mean, like, I don't keep with my receipts. Like, I stopped paying for warranties on shit so long ago.
I stopped paying for warranties on shit one time I went to Walmart and screwed me over. I literally bought, what did I buy? I bought something through Walmart for like a 2-year plan. I literally called Walmart, like, I brought it up to Walmart. They're like, oh, your warranty with Walmart is over. You have to call the other company that you got the 2-year, what? I'm like, I bought it from here. And they're like, yeah, but that's not our warranty. You have to call the company on this. And I'm like, and then when I called the company, they was like, oh, you have to fill out this form and send it back to us. And you have to pay for it. I'm like, what?
Yep.
And not only that, they were like, you're going to have to pay for it to be shipped to your house. I just threw it away. I was like, all right.
I mean, that's why I threw away that $7,000 couch of mine. That's because, dude, okay, so I paid extra. I mean, it wasn't much. It was like $300 to get a warranty on my couch, right?
$7,000, guys.
And my dogs fucked it up.
$7,000.
And the electronics and shit, and then my fat ass broke it.
$7,000.
Multiple times, and I've tried rigging it, but, like, so I call them, and they're like, well, we need you to send you the receipt. And I'm like, but you have the warranty number. Why the fuck do you need the receipt?
And see, the problem with that a lot of times is, let me explain something to y'all. 6 months after having the receipt, the ink and everything are going to go away.
I mean, well, luckily I had it. I had kept it. It was in my safe. So then I send it, right? And then they're like, well, we need pictures. So then I send pictures. And then they're like, well, it'll take us a month to process it. And then it'll take about another month for us to get somebody out there to go over it to see exactly what it needs, and then it'll probably be about 2 or 3 months until we can actually fix it or replace it or reupholster it. And I'm just like, who the fuck is going to sit here and actually wait through all of this? Like, and I want to say that was the last warranty I bought. And it was just so dumb. It really was. I was so mind boggled by how dirty and corrupt it was.
I've been figuring out that a lot of these warranties are just bullshit, really. Because let's be honest, if you don't have a receipt, they're not going to do it. A lot of the companies is now going through like third stores to actually fulfill these warranties.
Yeah, I know. That's what the crazy thing is just like everything that you can like get warranties and shit on, then you like it's so good for so long, but then like say for instance like you get a 2-year warranty on something, well, it already had like a 1-year warranty to begin with if you would have just paid attention, and then you got to deal with all that extra shit. Well, by the time that 1-year warranty is probably up, you're probably going to want something new anyway,
and it's obsolete, so they probably stopped making that model to begin with.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's the thing. Like, I have a TV that I bought. It's in my camper, and it's been having issues, and I know it probably hasn't even been a year, but I don't see the point of even bother trying because I guarantee you they don't make it anymore.
Oh,
and as soon as I would go to take it back to Sam's Club and tell them that, the shit doesn't work, they would be like, oh, well, we can't do anything about that because they don't make it anymore.
Or they say they only had a 9-day warranty.
Yeah.
And then when you try to be like, hey, what about this 2-year extension I had got? Oh, you had to call this company. And when you try to call that company, they like, we don't make that anymore.
But we can give you a discount if you want to buy something else. That's one other thing I've gotten to. Is they'll be like, oh, well, since it's discontinued, we can provide you so much of the original value, but it goes down per each day that you've owned it. And I'm like, hold up, what the fuck? I'm like, what did I just pay for? I'm like, Jesus. They'd be like, oh, well, you spent $600 on a TV? Well, you've had it for 999 days, so we'll give you $50. I was like, but I paid for a warranty. Yeah, well, they don't make that product anymore, but yeah, sorry, that's the best we can do. I'm just like, I hate my life.
Pretty much it's like with Vaseline or without Vaseline.
Right.
That's how the companies be like, you already paid for it. We got our money. Either you want it with Vaseline, which is you pretty much get a little discount, or without Vaseline, you have to buy this all brand new over.
Yeah. I know, it's crazy. But, I mean, to add to the India thing, so my dad works for a major company. I'm not going to say what, but
FBI.
That's not a company. That's just a douchebag government something.
Walmart.
Huh?
Walmart.
You say Walmart?
I don't know. We just talked about Walmart. So
no. But he works for a major manufacturing company, and they have plants all over the world. Pretty much every country that they distribute to, they have a manufacturing plant. And they have a manufacturing plant in India that makes the products that they sell. And my dad is like in charge of their IT for the globe, so he basically talks to all the manufacturers, like the buildings and all of their managers and all the big people, and that's what he deals with on a daily basis. But he was telling me stories about shit in their plant in India, and they had he said they got a phone. Said he was sitting there on his computer, and all day he's got like 2 or 3 different laptops running simultaneously. That, like, one of them shows coding for the robotics equipment, and then like another one will show like all of the buildings that they have, like all the in and outbound transmissions.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And then this other one is what they use to they all FaceTime each other all day, or one of those websites that they use to do that. But he was sitting there telling me, and he was like, one day he was like, I was sitting there, he's like, next thing he was like, the India building just goes completely offline. So he's like, I had to sit there and try to figure out why. And he's like, I'm over here like trying to reconnect everything. And he's like, nothing was working. He's like, I couldn't get like a single code and to enter the building. So he's like, I had to call the local police out there
What?
to go over to the security guards that were supposed to be watching the building. And here apparently the people, which I mean, I'm not going to blame them. You know, a lot of India is still poor. So, you know, I mean, I don't blame these people for doing it. But they actually went and stole all of the wiring running into the building. So there was no communication wires. So the whole building went down because they stole all the wires.
So literally somebody was like, hey, man, let us just come in here and take all your wire. No, we can't. We get y'all cut. Take whatever you can. We just file for insurance.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, he said it took him like 2 days to get the building back online, but it was just funny. I was just like, that's crazy. He said, yep, they literally, like, they went the whole way to the edge of the roof and took the wiring, like, just straight up stripped it so that way they could get money for the scrap.
I'll sell copper.
I mean, so, yeah, he said they had to redo all their thing, but, I mean, he said there's, like, plenty of stories and stuff like that throughout, like, countries that are, you know, poor, that have stuff like that happen. He said, like, people will, like, their employees will legit steal the printers.
I believe it.
And, like, all the kinds of stuff.
I mean, let's be honest. Americans do it the same thing. They steal printers and ink and shirts and free stuff all the time.
Yeah.
I never heard somebody take a whole copper wire out the building while you still working there, but hey, you learn something new every day.
Yeah, I don't know. I just remember that story while we were talking about it, and I just thought that was crazy, and I had to tell people that. Like, I mean, again, I don't blame them. You know, I mean, a lot of these people, you know, they're fighting to put food on the table. I mean, I used to work with a guy, and he was from India. He said he moved here whenever he was 20 or 21, and he said, you know, his very first job was working at a grocery store here in America. I mean, well, his first job in America was working at a grocery store here. And he said, like, somebody was complaining about, you know, milk being a day old, and the guy was, like, throwing a hissy fit and all this and that. And he said he just, like, opened up the milk and drank it in front of the guy's face. And he's like, here, you see, it's still good. He's like, you're not going to die. Like, it's okay. And he's like, you know, but people in America don't understand, you know, like, the stuff that I had to go through as a child and, you know, even as an early adult. And he's like, you know, we didn't have to worry about that kind of stuff because he's like, it didn't last. He's like, you know, whenever we were lucky enough to have food and to have drinks and to have stuff like that, he's like, you know, we made sure we ate it. He's like, there was no waste. He's like, you know, most of the milk and stuff that we drank, he's like, you know, we literally went out and milked the cows, the goats, whatever we had. And
Goat?
Huh? Yeah, goat milk.
Never had that. Okay.
That's not that bad. But
What?
I have had goat milk. I remember I worked on a farm.
I know that, but like, what?
Yeah, I mean, it was cold. I didn't just, like, drink it straight out the teat or nothing. I don't do warm milk. That's where I draw my line.
So you put your mouth on the tea and then you drunk it?
No, shut up, bitch. But no, like, I mean, you know, that's the sad truth. I mean, me and him sat there discussing it, that, like, I mean, we were, and I mean, I completely understood where he came from. I was just like, you know, I get that. He's like, and he's like, you know, he's like, I see all this waste and stuff from the grocery stores and in America, and he's like, it's just crazy. He's like, because, you know, where I grew up, he's like, you know, you would never even think of that. He's like that kind of stuff would just never happen because, you know, I mean, he said, like, they would legit even buy moldy cheese and moldy bread. He said that's just how it is. Because, you know, I mean, they don't, you know, they have to get what they can get. And that's a sad fact of reality. But, like, whenever he was saying that, like, I just felt like the biggest piece of shit. I was just like, this is just utterly crazy to imagine. Like, could you imagine being him and having to go through that? Like, I mean, you know, we sit here and we bitch about such non-trivial shit that, and here there's people that actually have to deal with stuff like that every single day.
I mean, that's the crazy part. Like, people who pretty much, how we complain about, oh man, we got McDonald's again, or like McDonald's not good. It's people who literally eat a bowl of rice if they lucky, or got a bone with hot water and think eating like beef broth for a whole meal.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of that happens. I mean, there really is.
I mean, I I know America, a lot of people say they're poor, but it's a lot different between being poor in America and being poor in a third world country.
Yeah, but I mean, a lot of people that are so-called poor in America can at least get access